Hi there, Adam Tragone, Managing Editor at Human Events. Welcome to Human Events Studios. The day after the State of the Union. Joining me is political editor John Gizzi, covering last night's speech by President Obama.
Sources within the White House were telling reporters that this was going to be, quote, the second act in the same play. Now, contrary to earlier reports in some of the great metropolitan newspapers, the president did not dwell on the economy. Sure, we heard things about sequestration, the dangers, and what he wanted as an alternative to it, including tax reform, things that he's told us in the White House press room many times before. But overall, there were the same red meat issues for his left-of-center base that were so familiar in the inauguration, from climate change to education and an enhanced government role to raising the minimum wage to $9 and, of course, gun control that he ended on in a very dramatic note. I think Congressman Matt Salmon of Arizona put it best when we spoke to him. When he first came to Congress in 1995, he heard a president say in his State of the Union address, "The era of big government is over." That was a Democratic president. Last night, Congressman Salmon heard, in his words, another Democratic president say, "We're back."
You know what, John? It's funny because I was there with you, and it was certainly the best way to describe it. And you mentioned the sort of laundry list of liberal proposals that the president is now stewarding, or at least would like to see Congress steward for him in the second term. Doesn't seem like it can happen. You have a House Republicans conference that won't go for it, and a Senate that is do nothing and has been for years. All of that stuff dead on arrival, John?
Exactly. And there's another factor, too. This president is looking forward to the midterm elections in 2014. Remember, Adam, very rarely in history does a president and the party that's in the White House gain anything in the penultimate elections. It's called the six-year curse because it usually favors the other party in a very big way. Some presidents have broken it, notably Bill Clinton in 1998. But this president is clearly looking forward to using his team, his lists, and the same factors that helped him win re-election to take back the House of Representatives and hold on to the United States Senate in a year when more Democratic senators will be up than Republican senators. How does one do that? The same factor that was so pivotal to his re-election, gin up the base.
And yes, when we were talking off camera earlier this morning, John, about how it seems that the policies that the president laid out are there to get Republicans mainly, and some Democrats, on the record for votes and for these midterm elections and these elections down the line. It will probably not go very well for Republicans because the issues are immigration.
Right.
And most likely gun control, where it seems that the left has now taken the narrative in both of those cases. What do you see playing out in immigration and gun control? Should Republicans be cognizant of that's probably why this is happening?
I think that's why there's such a rush to judgment on Capitol Hill right now. Many of those who were against the so-called compromise package in 2007 on immigration, which included a path to citizenship and includes just about everything being talked of now by senators of both party in the White House, except then there was a requirement that English be the national language. That will probably be the final solution to immigration, and Republicans want to move it in a very quick way. There are some problems. I mentioned Congressman Salmon earlier. He said he would not consider anything except work visas and wouldn't look at that until the border was secured. In addition, there is the question brought up of whether people, when they're waiting in line to be citizens, can vote.
And as we finish, John, you've been covering the Israeli elections in the Knesset, and the president is going to be there next week.
Yes.
Can you preview that, what to expect from the president and his itinerary?
Well, that's going to be a very dicey time for him to be there because, in all likelihood, given the history of the cobbling together of governments, Prime Minister Netanyahu, just reelected but with a smaller number of seats in the parliament, the Knesset, is going to still be cobbling together his government. And he can either rely solely on orthodox parties, which will produce a hard line and move him away from the two-state solution, or he can reach out, particularly to the second-place finisher in the race, Yair Lapid, and there is a future movement which accepts a two-state solution totally. And I would say, let's see what the government looks like before we know what this president will do there.
Certainly, we will see how that all plays out, and make sure to watch for John's coverage of the president's trip to Israel next week, and more videos coming forward on reactions to the State of the Union as well. This has been Adam Tragone, Human Events, John Gizzi. We'll talk to you next time.